is the third day program. And now I call our professor, Dr. G. Amudaranjani, Assistant Professor in Biological Science, to welcome the gathering. Over to Amudaranjani, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. You are audible.
Yes, ma'am.
You can say.
Okay. Good morning to all. Myself, Dr. Janjani, Assistant Professor in Bioscience Education, VOC College of Education, Thuthukudi. It's my immense pleasure to welcoming you all to this 7 days online enrichment program on holistic development of teachers. Today, it's my third day. On behalf of Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, Chennai, and VOC College of Education, Thuthukudi, I have great pleasure to welcome you all. I'm happy to welcome most especially today's resource person, eminent personality, Professor V. Rajeshwari ma'am, former Head Department of Education, Mother Teresa Women's University, Kodaikanal. Welcome you ma'am. We are waiting to receive your words. My warm welcome to our Vice Chancellor sir, Professor N. Panchanathan sir, and other faculty members of Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, Chennai. My heartfelt welcome to Dr. P. N. Lakshmi Shanmugam ma'am, Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University. Welcome you ma'am. In today's gathering, thank you ma'am. I would like to welcome all the participants from various universities, colleges and institution and other members. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you one and all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Amudaranjani ma'am. And now I call Dr. P. N. Lakshmi Shanmugam, Assistant Professor in Educational Psychology, Tamil Nadu Teacher Educational University, to introduce our resource person, Professor V. Rajeshwari, former Head Department of Education, Mother Teresa Women's University, Kodaikanal. Over to Lakshmi ma'am.
Yes, it is my privilege to introduce Professor V. Rajeshwari, former Dean College Development Council and Dean Faculty, was heading the Department of Education, Mother Teresa Women's University, Kodaikanal. She has got 31 years of university experience and served as registrar in charge of the university. 20 candidates were awarded PhD and 75 MPhil candidates got their degree under her guidance. Still, she is guiding 8 PhD scholars. She has served as the nodal officer of MHRD project and monitored SSA and MDM in 17 districts of Tamil Nadu for 2 consecutive terms as the nodal agency of Government of India for the period 2011 to 2013 and 2013 to 2015. On taking into the performance of the nodal agency, monitoring for SSA, monitoring RMSA in 17 districts of Tamil Nadu, was also assigned by MHRD for a period 2013 to 2015. She received funds for the innovative program Postgraduate Diploma in Professional Ethics from UGC, New Delhi, and it was given as add-on program for MAd and B.Ed students. She also served as the director of School Leadership Academy of Tamil Nadu of NCSL, NEPA, New Delhi 2016 to 2017. To her credit, she started B.Ed Special Education and M.Ed Special Education, that is specialization for intellectually challenged. She also started PhD and MPhil in Special Education in the university during her tenure. She instituted Thandai Periyar Maniammai Endowment Education Chair in the department. She launched Indian Society for Education and Allied Sciences, a national professional body in Tamil Nadu. She has organized national and international conferences under the support of NAC, NCRT, MHRD, NEPA, UGC, and TANSI. To her credit, she has published and edited 7 books and published research articles and thematic papers in the journals. She is serving as the peer team member of NAC and National Advisory Board of NCSL, New Delhi. She was the director of Curriculum Development Cell, Mother Teresa Women's University, and its constituent colleges, and generated awareness on among higher education teachers in curriculum development with the funding from the Higher Education Department Government of Tamil Nadu. She is serving as the resource person in UGC HRDC of Bharatidasan University, Bharatiyar University, Gandhigram University, Karpagam University, and MK University. The Department of Education, Mother Teresa Women's University, has been recognized as the Center for Excellence by the Higher Education Department, Government of Tamil Nadu, under her leadership and commitment. Ma'am, we are very proud to have you with us, ma'am. No words to thank for your acceptance, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Lakshmi ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. And now I invite our resource person for the today's program with a request to start her presentation. Rajeshwari ma'am.
Kindly ask her to unmute.
Yes. Rajeshwari ma'am, you can mute, sorry ma'am, you can unmute your mic ma'am. You can start your presentation ma'am. Rajeshwari ma'am. Rajeshwari ma'am, can you hear me ma'am?
Is it audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Is
yes
it
ma'am. Yes ma'am, yes ma'am.
okay.
Okay,
Thank you,
ma'am.
thank you.
Thank you ma'am.
Okay, okay. Ma'am. A very pleasant morning to one and all present over here. I deem it is a great pleasure to be in this great August gathering. Program, Professor Panchnatham, the co-patron, respected President of UOC College of Education, Sri Chokalingam, the Secretary, respected Shanmugam, Registrar in Charge, Professor Balakrishnan, Dean Faculty, Professor Govindan, and esteemed Principal, Dr. Kanagaraj of this reputed institution, VOC College of Education, Organizing Secretaries, Dr. Lakshmi Shanmugam, Dr. Davasuba, and Joint Organizing Secretaries. Last but not least, all the participants, teachers and student teachers who have assembled over here. I thank you organizers for having invited me and have given an elaborate introduction. And it is my pleasure to share some of my ideas over on the ethics of teachers. What are the principles of the teachers? What to be followed and what not to be followed? Already, this program, today it is the third day, it is already started and is an excellent program. The program is on holistic development of teachers. Excellent, wonderful topic. Congratulations to the organizers for having such a wonderful, enrichment program that is for 7 days for teachers as well as to the prospective teachers. I think it is two sides of the coin, right? It is a training program, workshop for the in-service teachers who are all teacher educators, and for the prospective teachers, that is the student teachers who are going to become the effective teachers in the days to come. So in a way, it is for both teachers and student teachers. So it is a great, importance they have given, and they have covered almost all the topics, right? Because in the program, I have seen how they have covered the learner's psychology, teacher's ethics, teacher how can be the good leader, and digital tools, the need of the day in this pandemic situation. So they have covered the main aspects of teacher education or of a competent teacher. So it is very good. It is well planned. So once again, I congratulate. I also thank Dr. Amudha Rajani for the wonderful welcome address and introductory address by Dr. Lakshmi Shanmugam and the people who are joining us like Mrs. Kavita, Ms. Rufina, and Dr. Davasuba and Dr. Anthony. Thank you all, the organizing members, for giving me an opportunity. So let me have the flow of the session. So their topic here is on ethics of teachers. Next slide, please. Next slide. Next slide, please. Yes. So the program is, how I have planned is, it is more of interactive session, right? Questions will be asked to get some clarity, to make the session interactive, so you can give your interaction in the chat box. And what are the aspects will be covered in this session are holistic development, because when you are holistic in your approach, you will be ethical in your profession. When you are ethical in your profession, it is understood that you have the holistic and integrated development. So it is interlinked. That is why I have taken both. And of course, we are very specific about the professional ethics, ethics of teachers, how to become a great teacher. Here I like to give two case studies and recap of the session. And the session is open for question and answer. That is the flow of the session. Next, please. Next slide. Yeah. What is holistic development? So participants, you can give your, because of time constraints, I'll be taking few, interactions from the chat box. What do you mean by holistic development? Participants, you can give your opinion in the chat box. Participants? Fine. All-round development. Very good. Excellent. Fulfillment in the work we do. So here, overall development. Fine. So here it is about holistic development, all-round development, integrated development, and balance in the body, mind, and soul. Yes, of course. So it is a harmonious, very good, because you have a better understanding about holistic development, how to develop this holistic approach in our profession. Next slide, please. Thank you, participants. Yeah. So already you have given in the chat box. So I am putting it in a nutshell. What is holistic development? Holistic development, that is the aspects included are intellectual, mental, physical, emotional, and social abilities in an individual, so that he or she, a teacher, is capable of facing the demand and challenges of everyday life. Because as a teacher educator, as well as a student teacher going for the teaching practice, you might have seen the challenges in these fields, like intellectual challenges, mental challenges, physical, emotional, social. In your transaction, in your curriculum transactions, you might have faced these type of challenges. So how to overcome this, and how these ethical codes will help you to be strong in your profession. So it is, this holistic development is essential, indispensable for success in the professional fields of work. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah. So here I am giving the foundations or the basics for this ethical. What is holistic? So mindfulness, it is much more important. How far we are focused in our work, in our roles, in our responsibilities. Are we living at the present, or are we just going back to the past, or thinking about to the future? So how far we are very mindful, concentrating, focusing on the, our present situation, present profession, present responsibility. That is the mindfulness. Slide is not coming, ma. Slide, please. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Hello. Participants
Ma'am,
also
ma'am.
screen is not visible. Screen is not visible.
Navinath Baliram, please stop presenting your screen. Please, participants, please don't present your screens during the reception. Participants, please cooperate with us.
Rajeshwari ma'am, you
Pin, madam,
please.
you pin VOCEAQR.
Yes.
Now you are able
Hello.
to visible, ma'am?
Yeah.
Rajeshwari ma'am?
Hello.
Rajeshwari ma'am?
Hello. Yes, yes,
Now,
ma'am.
can you able to see the screen, ma'am?
No, it's not visible.
Ma'am,
Not
you
visible.
just
Not
pin
visible. Yeah,
VOCCAQR.
yeah. But it's not coming.
Okay, ma'am, I will start presenting again.
Madam, it's visible.
1 minute wait.
For us, for the participant, it is visible, ma'am.
Ma'am, you,
Hello.
ma'am, Rajeshwari ma'am, you
Yes.
just pin. Wait for 1 minute, ma'am. It for 1
Okay,
minute.
ma. Okay, okay. No problem.
Participants, during the resource person presentation, please don't present your screen. Stop presenting your screen. Please cooperate with us. Just don't close all your videos and also mute all your mics, and don't share your screen.
Ma'am, I started presenting. Can you see me,
Ma'am?
ma'am?
Ma'am, now are
No
you able
problem.
to see, ma'am?
Yeah, it's coming. It is the process.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
It has come.
Okay,
Okay.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Mm. Well, I mean, there were 4 steps. I mean, the core steps in this holistic development is the mindfulness. Already we have discussed how we should be focused on our responsibility. It is more important. We should not waver in our, I mean, concentration in our activities, and recognize and respect the power of your body. We should have that confidence, assertiveness in our work. So we have to tap the hidden powers. What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? How to enrich my strength? How to eliminate my weaknesses? It is more important. And for everything, we need that healthy, I mean, very should be hale and healthy, both mind and body. We should be physically fit and mentally fit. This is also much more important. And positive relationship, it is very much important in our day-to-day activities, because unless we are in a very conducive environment, we have the positive vibration in the environment, the same likeness or I mean the wavelength should be same in our work. So try to focus on the positive relationship. So gain the positive relationship from your colleagues, from your friends, and avoid the negative and angry in life, because it is leading to the stress and difficulties. So here we have to take fit in your life with a positive environment and the recycling in energy. How to be very energetic, how to be enthusiastic, that we have to make ourselves maintain and the stability over our in our mind and the body. Next slide. Next slide, please. Next. So let yourself grow. It is much more important. In our professional ethics also we'll be discussing in this. So we have to grow day by day. Every year we have to update our knowledge. Usually we are stopping after getting the degree, we will stop learning. But actually, especially in teaching, it cannot be. And we have to grow not only in our knowledge, not only expanding the frontiers of knowledge, but also in your administrative ability, in your academic interactions, all aspects of the teaching profession you have to grow and love life and be respectful. Don't let you down. It is much more important in our life cycle. Practically, we face ups and downs, but we have to be very careful in our life. So first, let us respect. The in your profession, and be aware, be prepared for anything. So here, as we already said, we have the ups and downs. We have to face anything at any time. That is the event management. So anytime we have this event crisis, we have to overcome this. So anything may happen. That is the reality. And meditation, this is much more important. 24/7 we are breathing, but how long we are stabilize your mind, you have to meditate. That makes you to take good decisions, sound decisions, and be.
Participants?
ma'am.
Yes, Daushiba.
Okay,
Yes, I'm
okay,
here.
okay, okay.
Participants?
Ma'am is not,
Yes,
ma'am is not
she's,
audible, ma'am.
yeah, she's facing participants. Please wait for some minute. The resource person is facing some network issues, so please cooperate with us.
Raji,
Participants, please just cooperate with us. So there is some network issues for our resource person. Please, sorry for the interruption we have made. So please cooperate with us. Please wait a minute.
Hello, ma'am.
Ma'am?
Hello. Ma'am, her line is disconnected.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
She's
ma'am.
trying to rejoin.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Mm.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, participants. Meanwhile, let us share our thoughts regarding the holistic development of teachers. If you are willing, anybody, you can volunteer and you can please share your ideas regarding the content. Participants, please. Yes.
Good morning, ma'am. May I speak now?
Yes, Vanikavalli ma'am. Good morning. You can please.
Ma'am, first of all, I wish very all the best for VOC because it has been conducting the program
Madam, sorry
very
for
nice.
Madam, sorry for introduce yourself. Manikavali, madam, introduce yourself, please.
I'm Monica Valli, maths teacher in Government Girls Higher Secondary School at Kundratur near Chennai. In my view, holistic development is very essential for teachers because this situation makes us to run behind the marks. If we chase the marks, we forget the ethics. We make the students as mark machines. The students and parents also expect marks from us only. If we try to teach the ethics to them, they are not in the position to accept that. So, what I feel is the ethics, the holistic development measurements, and the grades also, should be entered in the mark sheet of the secondary school and as well as all the public exam board certificates. Because these certificates makes us to give the importance to marks only. So the certificating system should be changed. Then only holistic system should come definitely. It's my firm view in this matter. You may ask me, how could we change the give the grading system to the holistic development of the students? Because it's the teacher's duty is first man-making process, because now we have forgotten the man-making process, but we are on the way in mark-making process. The mark-making process makes the best students to feel themselves inferior as they don't get more marks. This mark-making process makes the students to get more marks only. I have find in my experience, most of the toppers are having very low ethics. What to do? If I try to preach ethics to them, they are not in the position to accept my view. They ask me, just teach me. You are in the position to give me marks. Who are you teach me ethics? The parents also feel like that. Because this holistic development have to come through changing the certificating system of the board exams. It's my humble view, sir. If you give me more time, after some time, I'm ready to speak with you. Thank you so much. I don't want to take I don't want to take the more valuable time from others. So let's all speak. If they are not interested, I am always ready to speak regarding this topic.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Manikavali ma'am. Thank you. Any other participants to present your view regarding a holistic development of teachers? Any other participants? Any other participants, please come forward to present your views regarding holistic development of teachers. Anyone? So our resource person is facing some network issues as she is in Kodaikanal. So please cooperate with us. Sorry for the inconvenience. So participants, you can share your views regarding holistic development of teachers. Neha Fatima ma'am, do you want to say anything?
Hello. Hi.
Yeah. Yes. It's audible,
Neha.
ma'am. Okay.
So my view on holistic development of teacher starts with the self-care. Okay. Basically, teachers now are so busy in presenting, preparing all the materials, giving more knowledge to the students, but they forget to take care of themselves, their mental health. So if the teachers start practicing some yoga, meditation, or something where the self-care is taken, because The resource person is very much important to be peaceful, to give the knowledge to the other people. I believe that teachers are the main people in everyone's life because they give the knowledge to everyone. So it is very much important for them to be healthy mentally, to give the right, correct, and deep knowledge to their students, which will build their career. I feel this is also a part of holistic development of a teacher, according to my view. So I just had this much to share. Hello.
Thank you so much, Neha ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone? Yes. Kalpana Perumal ma'am, you want to say something?
Yes, ma'am. Shall I?
Yes, okay. Yes, ma'am. You continue, ma'am.
For that holistic development, it should be covered or four categories, which is academic intelligence. It deals with all those kids, not only kids, and everyone's academic knowledge. They should have some peculiar knowledge about what they are learning. And there's spiritual intelligence. They have some spiritual ideas regarding their subjects, and it should connect their knowledge according to their spirituality. And next one is their emotional intelligence, how they handle their education, and their social intelligence also. He need to communicate with the society and everyone, and with that they can with all those people who are around us. These all should be developed for the students, and as well as the teachers should also train on those academic, spiritual, emotional, and social intelligence. That's I need to share about the holistic intelligence, ma'am.
Kalpana ma'am.
Ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Hello.
What is it? Yeah. Valarmadi, ma'am. Yes,
Okay,
you want
ma'am.
to share?
I think that holistic development is not only approaching the normal students, but also it includes the inclusive education of disabled child, no, special child. That we also have to how to handle that children as the normal children, and we have to improve their knowledge in all the way, on all the environment. That is I think that is the holistic development of the child. In the holistic development, there will be a challenge for all the teachers. Do you think that it is correct or not? Hello.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Valarmadi, ma'am. Want to say any other thing, ma'am?
Madam, if anybody wants to share anything, let them introduce themselves so that we may get that here. There is
Raghu, sir.
Yes, yes.
Sir, if you don't mind, can you please engage the session, sir?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We will be
Let me
presenting.
Let me try. Okay.
Yeah, okay, sir. I will start presenting, sir.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Thank you for considering, sir. Thank you, sir. Participants, sorry for the inconvenience caused. Actually, our resource person is in hill station, and she's having some network issues. That's why the problem. Now we will start the session, but the presenter, the person who is going to discuss is Dr. S. Razul Mohideen, Associate Professor in English, VOC College of Education, Tuticorin. And we will start presenting the PowerPoint will be displayed, and you please pin VOCCEAQAR. And Sanjay Jain, sir, you please turn off your video so that it will be helpful for a proper reception. Please cooperate with us, sir. Sanjay Jain, sir, please turn off your video. And participants, please pin VOCCE AQAR, and the ideas will be shared by our professor, Dr. S. Razul Mohideen. Thank you. Thank you for cooperation. Thank you. Sir, I will start presenting, sir.
Okay, am I audible now?
Yes, sir, I can hear you, sir.
Okay, friends, participants today in Tamil, and there are many number of participants from Tamil Nadu. That is why I told you. It has been said in Tamil, மணக்கோலம் கண்ட வந்தவன் மணமகனானது போல அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. அது மாதிரி வந்து திடீர்னு எனக்கு it has been chance has been extended to me for these things. Before I go further, I would like to share one of my visions. That is, I went through the dictionary and I browsed the email, net also, to find out the spelling for the word holistic. Whether it is HOLISTIC or WHOLE, holistic, whether it is adjective form, these things. But there I came to understand, almost in all the sources they expressed, only holistic is final. HOLISTIC is the final result. It has been used from Anglican period, but WHOLIST, it's only the recent intervention, but the correct spelling is HOLIST. There is only spelling mistake that has been given in all the sources. But as far as myself is concerned, I have my own doubt whether it is the adjective for holistic, HOLYIST, holy, whatever we consider secret, whatever sacred, that from maybe from that holy is holistic. Madam is visible now. Can I stop now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can start now. It's visible, sir.
So friends, HOLISTIC is the correct word. It's the correct spelling, and we can also have it in a sense that holy. It is an adjective from holistic. So it has become okay. Thank you.
Excuse me, sir. Rajeshwari ma'am has joined, I think, sir.
No, that is why. Okay, I withdraw. Thank you, Davashubha.
Davashubha ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Ma'am, good morning.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I didn't encroach the madam's point. Madam, you can continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rasul.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Rajeshwari ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I'm here.
Can you continue, ma'am?
Yeah. Where you
Okay, ma'am.
stopped? Where you stopped? What is ethics?
Yeah. What is ethics, ma'am?
No, ma'am.
What is ethics?
Oh, we have finished, no? The 11 valuable steps over.
Next slide.
Next slide, please. Next. Yeah. Friends, sorry for the interruption because of the net connection problem. I'm not able to continue, pardon me. So let us see what is ethics. So what do you think of ethics?
The value of a goodness or badness.
Yeah, very good, excellent. Thank you, ma. So it is of the, when we are in a profession, when we are in a job, how we have to behave, what values to be followed and what not to be followed. That is in a working place, that is called ethics. Otherwise, if it is of the personal things, it is only the moral values. If we are in a group, we call it as the ethics. Next slide, please. Next. Hello. Yes. So it is, as one of the participants told, very good. It is of the good and bad, and the perception of behavior in a context, in a working place. So it includes attitude, intention, perception, work, and action. These are the various aspects of the ethics that to be included in our ethical code. Next slide, please. Next slide. Next slide. What is professional ethics? Here we all know that teaching is the profession, is the mother of all the professions. So if you take doctors, engineers, lawyers, everyone have learned their subject, mastered the subject with the help of the teachers who are guided, who have facilitated them. So in this teaching profession, what are the ethics to be followed and what not to be followed in our working place? Because all of us are teachers, very competent teachers, very successful teachers. So how to enrich, how to enhance it further, that is the professional ethics. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah, it is a concept of professional ethics. It is a set of standards. Even every college, every institution, every university has their own set of standards, norms, mores that to be followed in the context of that particular institution. So that is making us get regulated, giving us the right direction to be in the right track. That is the code of ethics, and it shows what are the boundaries. So where we have to stop, where we have to work, these are the boundaries being given in. Next slide. Hello. Next slide, please. Yeah. So here, the Prime Minister, we are talking about the total quality management in the educational management, the field of, educational management. But what are the aspects are there in this list is prime investment, the technology-based education, because all of us know in this Corona COVID-19 how technology is playing a vital role. Nothing stopped, everything is being transacted, and the relationship between the teachers and the students, and the mutual respect with our peer group, and relationship between the uppers and the staff, others, parents, etc., and how we should have a passion for teaching. And finally is the more vital, indispensable role is teachers can transform lives of the students, that learners. That is much more important, and that is the big investment in a good quality education. That is why we are talking a lot about the professionals, the teachers, and the code of ethics. Next slide, please. Next slide. Next slide. And what are the principles? What are the ethical codes to be followed, especially in the teaching profession? That is the honesty. We are honest to ourselves, how far we are honest to our profession, how far we are trustworthy, truth to our, the management or the institution. That is, we have to comply with the policies and procedures given by the institution, maybe a school or college or university. So we have to take care of all those things and to be true to ourselves. That is, honest to our profession is the first ethical code to be followed in our teaching profession. Next, please. Next, please. Integrity. So integrity is also very much important. Honesty is the part of integrity. How far we are true to it, how far we are trustworthy to our job. That is the integrity. A small example I can give in our class transaction, in your assessments, in your examination. How far you are true to this. That is the most important. How far you are abiding by the rules, official or institutional regulations and procedures. That is the integrity to be followed, to be adopted by the teachers. Next, please. Then there may be a doubt in our, the two principles, because it is overlapped and truthful, sincere, and free of deceit. Here, the integrity is steadfast adherence to strict moral and ethical principles of an institution. This is much more important. So here it is the principle or the quality, and here it is the action when we talk about integrity. So it is overlapping, but to be very clear, to make it a distinction between honesty, integrity, honesty is the part or integral part of integrity. Next slide, please. Next. Yeah, then affinity and loyalty to the institution. Wherever we work, because we accept the job, we also have to be very true to the institution. Affinity is the natural liking of the institution where we work. That is the affinity to the institution. When you have the likeness, when you love your institution, automatically the output of yourself will be more, will be at the optimum level. And the loyalty to the institution, faithfulness, because we accept the job and we have given this opportunity to work as a teacher. So this affinity and loyalty are much more important in our ethical codes of the teaching profession. Next. Next slide, please. Mindfulness, already this we have discussed, that is focuses on the full attention of the particular job or the role, whatever is given. It may be the teaching, it may be a cultural committee, it may be a fine arts, whatever it may be, that whenever the work is allotted, we have to be very mindful, focused in our duties. Next, please. Confidential. This is more important because teachers, you work as the leader. Teachers, we work as the counselors. Teacher, we are the mentors. Teachers are the, examiners. So we are playing a multifaceted role in our teaching profession. And in certain aspects, we cannot be be very open in our thing. So wherever it is demanded, wherever it is essential, we have to make it very confidential, keep it very confidential, since the process is demanding, the situation is demanding in certain aspects, not all aspects of our teaching profession. In certain duties, we have to be trustworthy. Next, please. Next slide, please. Accountability. It is more important in our teaching profession. We are accountable to all our stakeholders. Maybe parents, maybe management, maybe the head of the institution, the students, the community. We are accountable. We are answerable to everybody. We cannot give up our responsibilities because of a reason or the other. So we are answerable to all the stakeholders in the teaching profession. So we have to be very careful in our performance, in our teaching, in our examination, in our counseling, in our directions, in our guidance. We have to be very careful how far we should be accountable and be useful for the students, for the stakeholders, even for the parents, everybody. Next, please. Next, please. Next. Yeah, objectivity. Here it is also very much important because as a teachers and the student teachers, all of us know that objectivity is very much important for the teachers. There should not be any bias. There should not be any prejudice in our perception, in our action, in our assumptions, in our, communications. There should not be any bias and prejudice. It is much more important because we are the persons dealing with the human beings. In our human touch, we should be very objective while you are doing the curriculum transaction, and in our communication or in our assessment or examination or teaching learning responsibilities, we should be very objective in our roles and responsibilities. Next, please. Next. Yeah, here just because of the time constraints, because in between we have the problem. So I just give, if you have any doubt, you can ask at the end of the session. So here, what are the professional principles and practices like effective goal setting? That is the preparation. Here we are given 1 year, one academic year. Apart from teaching, what else to be done? That are the things you have to make a list or gist of it. That is the long-term goals, mid-term goals, short-term goals, and immediate goals. In any educational management, we might have come across this. So at the end of the session, what is the, goal I have to reach after teaching my learners, my counterparts after a year, and the midterm course. So I have to do the assessment whether I have reached it or not. And sometimes you cannot wait for a quarterly or half-yearly or 1 year or semester or non-semester. Immediately we have to set the goals and we have to accomplish those goals. That is the immediate goals. These are the things to be followed, adopted when you start your academic program. Next, please. Next slide. Yeah, clear communication. That is the biggest. We have in our communication, we have the upward, horizontal and vertical communication. Simple. You have to make your language very simple. Don't make it more complicated. Don't use the big jargons, but be very simple and make the people to, whatever you want to sell, the message should reach the people and understandable. Otherwise, the communication purpose will get lost. So when imparting and exchanging your ideas, be very clear in your communication, especially with your, the students. You have to give very clear, effective communication. That is much more important. Next one. Next slide, please. Yeah. And teachers, you have to be a role model. If you take the great President Abdul Kalam, when he became the president, he came to Dindukal and he also saluted his master in, Dindukal. Why? What makes him to do that? Because he thought it is a great role model, very encouraging, very, motivating for him. As a teacher, he want to show his respect. That's a type of role model we have to perform to our learners, because we are the living models to it. The bots, because the teachers are the second parents for the students. So we have to pay a very positive, good role model, and we have to establish a good relationship with our students, and we have to emulate, we have to motivate the students to follow the right path of the students. So being a role model is a very good set of example for our followers or the learners. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Adaptability and flexibility. So we have to adapt. That is much more important, because you might have learned, had your studies in a different institution. Now you are being employed in another type of work culture. There you have to adopt the work environment. We cannot be very rigid in our norms. We have to be flexible. We have to yield, and we have to adopt the new work culture, new environment, and get accustomed to that particular cultural norms and the values of that institution. That is adaptability. It will help you to go take a lead in your profession. Next, please. Next. Preparation. So getting ready, plan making, and provisions and proceed. It is much more important. That is why in your, your teaching, profession, you have the lesson plans. Why? Because we have to prepare mentally as well as physically what I'm going to do in this for 40 minutes. Not only completing the text, not only completing the syllabus, not only completing the examination, but what else I'm going to do with my learners, because they are here with me for 40 minutes. What am I going to do? Or for one semester, what I'm going to do? Or for 1 year, what am I going to do? That is a preparation. So we have to prepare, then you will reach the goal very easily, because it is like a blueprint how to go about. It will help you a lot. Next, please. Next. Yeah, there is self-reflection. That is introspection. Finding what are the strengths and weaknesses amongst us. All of us, anybody having the hidden talents, we are capable of doing something, and certain weaknesses we have. For that, we have to see, you have to just make a list. What are my strengths? Whether I am very communicate, I'm easy to communicate, I am having that assertiveness, I do have the classroom management, or I am very pleasing, or do I have the sense of humor? These are my strengths in the class. And sometimes I feel, emotionally, I am not very strong. That may be my weakness. So what are my strengths? What are my unique weaknesses? That only you can do first. Then, of course, you can get your opinion from your colleagues and the peer group, or your the boss or the leader. But first you have to check yourself. Then it is easy to strengthen, top up your strengths, and eliminate the weaknesses. Next, please. Next slide. Yeah, lifelong learning. It is much more important in our teaching profession. Otherwise, we call it as teaching profession is frozen. So we cannot freeze in our learning every day, because our students are the most challenging personalities in the classroom. They have a very good exposure. They have more time. They have a very good exposure with the ICT. They have internet availability. So they are the challenges to us. And moreover, we have to update our knowledge. We have to update our knowledge, because we are in the curriculum transaction with our words. So lifelong learning, that is why you can see people, you people are attending the webinars. What is the intention of attending this? Because you want to learn something, because you know everything, and you want to enrich your knowledge further. That is This is also a part of your learning. That is called lifelong learning, and whatever related subjects you have to learn, because today we have the distance education system, open learning system, webinars, and many tools are available, websites are available, YouTubes are available, that any mode you can do the learning, it will help you a lot to be successful and competent in your teaching profession. Next, please. Next, please. Promoting a love of learning, that is more important. In our teaching profession, we should have a passion for two things, one for learning and one for teaching. Unless you are passionate in your both learning and teaching, you cannot be very successful. You can do job, you can teach, you can earn money, your results will be 100%, but the problem is, unless you have the passionate, you cannot have the optimum output, maximum self-satisfaction. So we can also love the learning, and other times making our walls also to love learning. That is, you are making your students the learners always. Next slide, please. Next slide. Hello, next slide, please. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am?
Hello.
Ma'am, you are not ma'am, you are not able to see the slide, ma'am?
Coming, ma. Thank you. Then transparency. It is also very much important in our profession, because in our teaching, and you are also given all additional responsibilities when you are a teacher in an institution. So in all your responsibilities, you have to be very transparent, like a glass, like crystal clear. Then it is very clear, because nothing will be suspicious, but you may have a doubt whether it is possible. It is possible when everything is performed very well or very clear, very clean. That is possible. We can be transparent in our roles and responsibilities. Next slide, please. Yeah, respectfulness, being polite, because we are in a group, we are in the staff room, we are with our principals, we are with the head of the departments. We have to be very polite and respect others also. Respecting the students, individuals, children are also individuals, parents are also individuals. So here we have to respect all our stakeholders. That is much more important in our ethical. We cannot boost ourselves as the teachers, but we have to be humble and polite in our meeting and consulting with our, the wards and the stakeholders. Next slide, please. Yeah, abide by the law. As I have already informed, we have the specific rules and regulations of each and every institution. So we have to take care what are the rules and regulations. We have to be very thorough with the acts and statutes, rules and regulations, the calendar of the institution where they can give the rules and regulations. So we have to follow the rules. That is the ethical code of the teaching profession in an institution. Next slide, please. Next one, please. Hello. Yeah. Accept the changes. Change is the only thing which never, is the permanent thing. So changes is the, we have to accept the changes. Already we are in the teaching profession, and actually we are in the oral presentations. But today we are having Google classrooms. We have the digital tools. So we have to accept the changes because of the situation, the demand of the situation, demand of the parents, demand of the learners, because almost 3 months over. So we have to fulfill our expectation within a short time. So we have to accept those changes, and we have to overcome the new challenges, and we have to perform the duties. That is also much more important. But we cannot be very rigid. That is why I already told you we have to be very flexible in our, the day-to-day professional life. Next slide, please. Yeah. And open and respond positively and constructively. That is much more important. One of the important ethics in our teaching profession. How we are positive. Are being dominated by the negative thoughts, negative ideas, negative action, negative behavior, then it means you are pulling down yourself. So always be very positive and very constructive, because we have to deal with our students. That is, be positive and it will going to help not only you but even the students. So it is giving a boost. It is going to motivate them, help them to build further. That is the way of responding positively and constructively. That is for our students as well as to your bots. Next, please. Hello, next, please. And seek support, advice, and guidance where necessary. So we should not feel shame because we have to learn a lot. So it is nothing wrong in it. We have to take the necessary support, advice, and we should not feel shame of it for not knowing certain things, because we are all social animals. We depend on each other, and the youngsters, they have to get the experience from the seniors, and seniors, they have to updated with the juniors. Then we all going together as a team, not as an individual, but as a team. So don't to take the support, advice, and guidance from anybody with whom you are, where you are, from the institution or from the individuals. Take your help from your colleagues and teachers, even from the students. Nothing wrong in it. Next slide, please. And professional development is the key to the professional progression. So all of us are aiming for excellence, being very competent in our profession. When it will take place, when we can progress in our profession, when we equip ourselves, when we update ourselves, when we are, with the moving trends, emerging trends, when we are learning ourselves, when we are going for such types of improvement, enhancement, enrichment, automatically you will progress in your profession. You will definitely become a shining star in your profession because you are keen on your equipping yourself. That will help you and take you a lot in your profession. Next one, please. Next one, please. So here I think it is 12:10. So I will just skip and give the important points. Who is a great teacher? When you follow this holistic development, who is a great teacher? So just one or two, you can interact in your, chat box. Who will be a great teacher? Who will be a great teacher? Who is a great teacher? Who can be a successful teacher? Okay, there is no response from the audience, so let me go ahead. So who is a great teacher? Who is very good? And one who is a learner, very good. One is dedicated, one is committed, one is child-centered, very good. I get the responses from the audience. Thank you, participants, for your immediate response. So they have given a list of very good teacher, very good, very good. Thank you, thanks a lot. So here, how to become a great teacher. Next slide, please. Hello, next slide, please. So who is a great teacher? Who is warm, accessible, enthusiastic, and caring? Here we have to be where give a place, room for accessibility, where you have to be energetic, you have to be enthusiastic. When the students, because of the personal reasons, they may meet you. When you are enthusiastic, it will reflect on your words. And as I told you, teachers are the caregivers. You have to give the care to your students. They are in your, with you for the whole day. So even after office hours, because during the class time, we are having the curriculum transaction. Only after class hours, you can interact with the students and see what they need. So this type of warm, accessible, and enthusiastic and caring are important and make a teacher a great teacher. So we have to be very cool and chill, not to be very emotional. And first of all, we should be a good listener. We cannot say, I am a teacher, you shut up and sit down, because they have their own ideas. They want to give their opinion. You have to hear. So be a teacher, be a very good listener, then you can be a great teacher. So, and calm in all situations. Sometimes somebody will be triggering. Sometimes I'll be making the problem, a problem create. But as a teacher, your personality should be calm in all situations to meet the challenges and solve them. You can be a good problem solver and good decision maker. Next slide, please. here I have just quoted, and I'm just giving only one example of this WW Global Teacher. This is the link I have given. And every year, that is Berkeley Foundation in UK, they award Global Teacher Award for the teachers. And even in 2020, this academic year, they have shortlisted and they have got the top 50 dedicated teachers. And from this 50, they will cut short for 10. Final selection will be there. And this I have quoted from the 2019. 10 top teachers were awarded by this Berkeley Foundation in UK, and 2 I have just given as an example. What makes them the Global Teacher Prize winner of 2019? So here I have given 2 examples. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah, he is one of the recipient of this Global Teacher Award because his performance is very unique, very peculiar, how he is concerned with the learners. Next slide, please. So he was the teacher, Andrew. He was working in the Parkfield community. He is a live example, a big role model who are all becoming becoming a very competent, successful, great teacher. He will be a role model. He extended his ethos because he is living in a place where you can see the ethnic groups are there. So he says no outsiders because I want to lift my students. Because for example, in Kundrakudi, the entire village has got educated because of the Kundrakudi, Adigalar. So here the same principle is also followed by the teacher Andrew, no outsiders. He wants to educate first his, community people, the students. That is why his slogan says no outsiders. So that is why he makes a session, only for the people who are the habitants of that particular, Bardsley Green area of Birmingham. So he wants to make the total literacy of that particular village or the remote area. That is why he got this global award by the Berkeley Foundation. Next one, please. Next one, yeah. Next slide, please. So she is another example. Next slide, please. He's called the Daisy teacher. He has already got the award from the Netherlands. He was brought up by a single parent, and because of her personal experience, he wants to give a safe studenthood for the students who are all coming to her school. So a sense of direction and self-actualization. So with this here, we all of us know the Maslow's theory. Even after self-esteem, the self-actualization means you have the highest self-esteem. So this type of self-actualization you can see, you can observe from the Daisy teacher. So she made it a very conscious choice to work with the school where the people or students are coming from economically weaker section or deprived area. Next slide. Next slide, please. Next, because we are running out of time. Yeah. So here, what makes her a great teacher is she allowed equal participation of children in planning their own learning. That is the learner-centered approach, learner-centered education. We cannot dominate. We are giving equal place for the learners how to go about in their learning. So giving equal participation of children means involving children in the learning process. That is the one of the practices of Daisy teacher, what makes her a teacher successful. And she says, I love teaching for the opportunity to speak to children, help them with resources of direction and clarity. So these all makes the teacher, Daisy teacher, to be the global awardee. Next, please. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah. So what are your most important values in teaching? This was in an interview she was asked, and she is the ability to express and communicate whatever we have discussed in the ethical codes: the trust, self-confidence, reflection, autonomy, and cooperation. These traits, all these ethical codes, what I practice in my profession makes more important values in my teaching. So these all makes a teacher more competent, and she not only being having highly motivated, but ignite the intrinsic motivation, spotted out the motivation point of the students and motivated all her was to become the better learners, real global citizens, and to be very happy in the teaching learning process. Next slide, please. Just to recap, so not merely disseminating knowledge, it is something more than that in our teaching profession, and stimulate learning environment, that is the conducive environment for the learners to learn more, to retain the information, to enjoy the learning session, and to reach their full potential. For example, it is not possible for all of us to educate gifted children. We get a heterogeneous group. We get average students, gifted students, slow learners. So keep it in your mind, educate to excel. Educate to excel means how to make the people to go one step forward, to move forward. So that is educating to excel each and every individual. That is the more important responsibility, to serve as the role model and instill the values and most, because we are dealing with human beings. We are working on the human resource development of the nation, of the world. So we are playing a very vital role. Nothing can be replaced the place of the role of the teachers. That is to be understood, that is to be practiced. So that is much more important. These are the things we have discussed in our session. Next, please. So we have to pursue the truth, be devoted, be committed with and work towards the excellence. Need to engage in the continuous professional development. Dear friends, dear teachers, I want one thing, let us swear, let us be very happy in our profession, but at the same time, let us progress in our profession and let us excel in our profession. That makes you to enjoy your profession. Next slide, please. So be positive. That is the only thing, how we look at things. So for example, the German scholar, because I like this very much. So when the eraser is put before the, two great philosophers, the German scholar says erasers are made for those who make mistakes, to clean the mistakes, to remove the mistakes. But our great Swamiji Vivekananda says erasers are made for those who are willing to correct their mistakes. So who wants to forward before, to take a leap in their progress. So let us correct when we mistake. Let us help others to correct. Let us progress in our profession with all great ethical codes. Next slide, please. So to conclude, the mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher just explains, the superior teacher demonstrates. We great teachers, let us inspire our students, let us motivate our students, let us help all our students to become the good citizens and working, partners in our teaching learning situations. Thank you, students. Thank you, participants, for your patient listening. Now the session is open for question and answer. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Now is the question. Thank you, ma'am. Now is the questioning session, and I request all the participants to post their questions in the chat box. Participants, if you want to ask any questions to the ma'am, so please post your questions in the chat box.
Dr. Devasubha, there is, one clarification they ask, that is about the positive, how to be very positive. That is the question raised by one of our participants. Thank you, participant, for writing the question. Be positive. So any situation, anything may happen. In such situations, how we look at things? Do we take it as an obstacle? Do you think it is a problem? or do you take it as a challenge? In our personal development, there is one thing we call it as a SWOT analysis: strength, weaknesses, and opportunity threats. So when threats are there, how we convert the threats into challenges. When you have the challenges, definitely you will overcome those difficulties. It may be successful, it may be sometimes very challenging, very easy to overcome the challenges, but at the same time, when one or the second attempt may be a failure, but not all our attempts. That is a positive. I can overcome. I accept the reality. These are the obstacles. These are the problems I face. But how to overcome? Because any problem is having a solution. That is the positive attitude. And as a teacher, as we are meeting the mixed group, heterogeneous group of the learners, meeting our own peer group in the institution, we should have such positive. Let me take what I can do. Let me take what I cannot follow. Friend, I'm interacting with my students or the teachers. That is the positive attitude. That is why I gave that Vivekanandan, so Swamiji's quotation there.
One more question, ma'am.
Yes,
give
please.
Give one example about inspirational teacher.
Yeah, inspirational teacher. So here, that is a very good question. Thank you for your question. So that is how we make the students to attract, retain in our class. That is much more important because the span of attention is very less even for us. The psychologist says every 10 minutes our mind move from the point of view, focal point. That is the psychology says. But how will you make our people to attend the class first? Then how you people, because when I take my class, when I had the experience with my students, when I teach this subject, after the class they say this is more interesting, I want to take this subject for my post graduation. That means you are inspiring the student to get attached to the subject because of your teaching. They want to take up this psychology in their post graduation, not to go for other subjects, because the particular teacher has motivated, given the intrinsic motivation for the participants to get the mastery degree in that. That is inspiring. And being a role model, for example, our the great IAS officer, the special officer, Mr. Radhakrishnan IAS, or if you take IAS officer, say for example, Mr. Irayanbu, or take our former president Abdul Kalam, they are all the inspirational leaders. When we look at them, we get the inspiration to do something, to follow something from them. That is the way of inspiration. We are triggering the minds of the students, not only the behavior or of the learning parts of the students. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. And another question is there, ma'am.
Yes,
explain the difference between professional behavior and professional ethics.
Yeah, professional behavior is a part of professional ethics. Attitude is a professional ethics. The behavior is the a part of professional ethics. Unless you follow the ethical codes, it will not be the explicit. The explicit term is the behavior. The following the principle is the mental process. What you follow, I want to be punctual to my class, for example. That is the ethical code. When you are punctual, being in the session 5 minutes before time is the behavior. So the principles, values, norms, and modes are the codes. When you put it into action, it becomes the behavior. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And another question, ma'am. Some faculty members itself is not having professional ethics.
Yeah.
How do we tolerate it, ma'am? It is easy to teach to the students, but for the faculty members, how can we adjust the situation?
Yeah. But we have to think two ways. If he is a friend of yours, no problem. They will help that particular person to modify their behavior. But as a teacher, as an individual, we accept you cannot tolerate the behavior, such negative is. So here, if you are going to see the negative aspects and keep on thinking on this, you will be losing your positive vibration. So you have to be very careful when you are being with this such negative persons. So you have to avoid such persons if they are very adamant in not changing their behavior. Otherwise, you can tell if they are ready to hear you. Otherwise, don't worry. You go ahead with your students and be a successful teacher and become a great teacher.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. It's enough, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
And thank you. Now is the time to thank everyone. And now I call Professor Kavita, Assistant Professor in Physical Science, VOC College of Education, to propose the vote of thanks. Over to Kavita, ma'am. Kavita, ma'am. Over to Kavita, ma'am.
Yeah, Kavita ma'am, Rufina ma'am. Yeah, I think Kavita madam is facing some network issue. Let's invite Vinolia, Dr. Anthony Vinolia, deliver the vote of thanks.
Okay,
Anthony Vinolia ma'am.
Yeah.
Over to you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Rufina ma'am.
Okay, thank you, start.
A very good afternoon to everybody. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks. Let me first of all start by giving glory to the Almighty God, making today's webinar a resounding success. My heartfelt thanks to the Vice Chancellor of the Tamil Nadu Teachers University, and my heartfelt thanks to Honorable President and Honorable Secretary and Honorable Respected Principal for their continuous support. I'm grateful to our resource person, Professor Rajeshwari, for honoring us with a wonderful topic. Ma'am, the explanation and presentation were really perfect, and we all understood I very clearly. Thank you, ma'am. I thank Dr. Amudaranjani, a wonderful welcome gathering. I thank Professor Lakshmi for giving such a beautiful introduction about our resource person, and I also thank Dr. Rufina Dhanasudha for being program moderator. And I also thank Dr. Razul Magdin and Monica Valli, Kalpana, Fatima, Valarmadi for engaging us immediately with their thought. Last but not least, my heartfelt thanks to the participants for showing their interest and involvement in this program. Once again, I thank you all.
Thank you so much, Vinolia ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you all, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Rajeshwari ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajeshwari ma'am. We had a very nice session, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Lakshmi ma'am, can I give the announcement?
Yes, sure, ma'am. Go ahead.
Razul sir?
How are you, ma'am? Ma'am, Rajeshwari ma'am, it's Dr. Rasool. How are you, madam?
Sir, actually,
I think some network issues.
having some network issues. Ma'am,
Okay, no problem. Yeah. Convey my regard to ma'am.
No, but she heard your voice, sir. She replied for your question also.
Okay.
Rajeshwari ma'am,
But we